financial inclusion is, inarguably, one of the first few sectors with which impact investing in India truly built its spread and momentum. As a developing country, the sector also happens to be a crucial underlying foundation for most other development sectors like agri, health, climate tech, and even deep tech. As a result, at IIC Research, we've consistently noted financial inclusion to attract a massive investor attention, attracting over 25 to 30% of the overall investment value across 2021 to 2023. With this context in mind, it's my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for the session, Mr. Anurag Agrawal. Mr. Anurag is a partner at Aavishkaar Capital, which is the impact investing arm of Aavishkaar Group. Anurag has been part of the founding team of group company Intellicap and last served as its CEO. In addition to serving on the board of the group holding company, Anurag represents the promoter interest on the board of group companies Arohan and Ash, as well as Aavishkaar portfolio companies Netra, Nutrade, Alton Electronic Finance, and EPS. It's a pleasure to have you here, Mr. Agrawal. The floor is all yours.
Thanks, Vidi. I think you covered pretty much all I wanted to say. So, so that makes my job pretty easy. I think we have limited audience here and I recognize most of the faces. So I don't think I need to give a lecture on financial inclusion. The people who are experts in that area who are actively participating in the space. So I really don't know what to say. Financial inclusion has really been the bedrock of impact investing. The first sector that really got real traction in this space. It's probably seen the maximum amount of investments. Started off with microfinance. We were at Aavishkaar one of the early participants. We along with Agrawal, Low, Bellwether, were one of the early investors in the space. The space was transitioning. I personally got involved in this about 20 years ago. At that time, I recollect, as I was transitioning from ICICI Bank to Aavishkaar, the overall size of the microfinance sector in India was about 500 crores. And yesterday I was reading the latest MFIN report, which calculates that the overall microfinance sector in India is 4 lakh crores now. So 500 crores to 4 lakh crores is what it is going to in the last 20 years. And this is just microfinance alone. Obviously, the scope has expanded into other sectors like MSME, like renewable finance, affordable housing, and some of these spaces are potentially 10 times larger than microfinance alone. And we are still talking about penetration only being maybe 1/3, half at best, right? So there's still ample opportunity for growth. There is a lot that has happened on the technology side as well. The government has had a huge role to play with the enabling regulation, with guardrails. We are seeing this kind of explosive growth, so that also comes with a lot of issues pertaining to growth, kind of practices on the ground, build up of MPAs. We are seeing a lot of that also lately. So obviously one needs to be careful, and again the role of SROs like MFIN, Sadhan, even Impact Investor Council playing a very proactive role in working with investors in the kind of places money is going into. So, there is plenty to do still. There is a lot of capital that has gone in. This is a space where we've also seen the maximum amount of exits. I think I read somewhere about $12 billion of capital is already invested in the financial inclusion space in India. And this is just equity capital alone. And of course, all kinds of debt funding is also going on. What used to be mostly a not-for-profit sector converted into for-profit. Impact investors made the early investments, and then it was followed by mainstream capital coming in. So this is a space which is as mainstream as it gets. We've seen companies go. Bandhan, an example, when we first started working with them, was a not-for-profit society, and today it's a listed bank. So we've seen the journey from small NGOs going on to become NBFCs, to becoming small finance banks, to becoming full-fledged banks, and also getting listed. Right? We've also seen our share of issues, the AP crisis, demon, COVID. So we've also seen the space has been very, very resilient and has bounced back well. And overall, if you look at economics and returns that the space has been generating, it's comparable to any other sector, any other mainstream sector. So highly investable. It has already reached out to, I believe, over 100 million people, right? So scale is already there, huge amount of impact, and we keep debating, when we look at new investment opportunities about impact. When it comes to financial inclusion, there is no debate at all, right? So high on impact, high on return. It does come with its share of risk, which all of us need to manage. And I think we have a very interesting set of panels with much more educated guys than me. We will talk about things in more detail with respect to technology, with respect to how this can be more inclusive from a gender point of view, and also technology. So I'm looking forward to listening to some of these conversations. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anurag. I think it's safe to say you had a lot more to say than I did, and added a lot of value to the discussion and conversation.